Before you destroy that dislike button, at least listen to what I'm saying, because card of Demise doesn't need to be banned. Also, yes, I am incredibly sunburned. Your turn, Yugi boy. World Championship Finals. The Dragon Jewel finalist won with Chamber. And this now prompted everyone to say, boo, Chamber needs to be hit. Card Demise needs to be banned. No. Let's take a step back from the event. Let's judge the event on what it is. A make-believe fantasy format. That format has so many restrictions all over the shop in the fact that the OCG can't play the decks that they want to play like 2 months in advance because they are ahead of us. We barely got links, so we're basically under the structure deck link format because Code the Duelist can't be played. So there's that. Then there's the joint ban list, which has just a fuck ton of stuff. TCG exclusive can't be used, all that stuff. OCG exclusives can't be used. So already that's fucked up with so many decks. So basically there's hardly any viable decks. This is where Chamber has come in. This guy's been like, or someone who's told him, because let's face it, I'm pretty sure he hasn't chosen that deck by himself. Come on now, son. The fact that he's waltzed in with that is one of those left field decks that is just good for that format, and that's all that it is. It's only good for that format. I implore you to go play Chamber when the actual format for us, once we get off a bid and limited list, once we get everything and the format settles, go play Chamber at a big event. See how well you do. You will drop out very quickly. The deck is very easily sideable. Denko Sekka shuts it down. Royal Decree shuts it down. Trapstun shuts it down. Counter Traps shut it down. There's just so much stuff that can ruin that deck. And if you know how to play against it, then it's simple. Just case in point before I move on to my other points, that kid who was playing against Chamber didn't know how to play against Chamber. I don't care what you say. The worst possible play you can do against a Chamber player when they have set their back row and passed turn, and in your turn, you decide to blind Cosmic Cyclone back row twice in game 1 and game 2 or 3, I think he's done it. That is literally the worst thing you can do. Even worse than blind MST. Why? You're activating Cosmic Cyclone. You're starting Chainlink 1. You're paying 1,000 life points. You've just paid 1/8 of your life. You're now on 7,000 life points. You've built a chain, and he has 5 back row that he can respond potentially with. Where is that not a stupid thing to do? Card of Demise is just one of these cards that people think is so broken when in actuality it isn't. It's really goddamn good in certain decks, and that's all. It's really good in certain decks, and I think people need to get this into their head. It's not a meta splashable card. It can't be used in everything, and I think people think that it can. So a lot of people are very scared of the new Counter Fairy stuff that's coming out. Yeah, I think that's a fair enough thing to say. It's going to be a good deck, I think. I haven't done much testing, but I think it'll be fairly decent. But let's not forget Counter Fairy have been slapped with the whole pendulum rule now, that obviously you're going to be using Guiding Ariadne in most builds. So therefore, if you have Guiding Ariadne up, and if you are also using Luster Pendulum, you only have 3 back row to play with. So if I've got Counter Traps, like a hand, and then Card Demise, I'm losing a lot of cards and I'm not drawing much. See, now I explain it and now you know how it works. It doesn't sound that great, does it? Don't get me wrong, Card Demise is good, but it shouldn't be banned. Don't think it should even really be limited. It can be semi-limited if you really want, but that doesn't really do anything. Why don't you just start hitting other cards like Allura Darkness or any other draw card that is good in their specific decks? Because that's all it is. They're just good in those specific decks. Get over it. It's not a broken card. Chainburn is not relevant. No matter how much you might complain how degenerate that deck is, it's not relevant. When was the last time, outside of this fantasy meta that was made up, when was the last time Chainburn topped in your area? When was the last time Chainburn topped at all? The last time I remember was like 2012 in a Euros, and it did fairly well because it caught everyone off guard. But ever since then, people have kind of, woken to it. Back row back row hate is a thing, and if you really want, just get Konami to release like Heavy Storm, for example, or maybe not Heavy Storm, but Harpy's Feather Duster. Even better. Just do that. Keep people happy. Don't see any reason. I honestly don't see any reason why Heavy Storm and Harpy's Feather Duster couldn't be unbanned. Giant Grenade, however, no. If you don't know why, just look into it. Card's unfair. So, in summary, stop moaning. Card Demise isn't that bad. Literally get over it.